Breaking news, my country people. Guys, what is really happening? Simon Ekpa now has raised alarm on the terrible fates that might befall Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if care is not taken. This would happen to him. Now, my country people, all this is coming when we just have few days to the Nigerian courts hearing Nnamdi Kanu's case. Just few days left because the date has been fixed already to hear the case of Nnamdi Kanu. A date has been fixed, and now Simon Ekpa raising alarm on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's health. My country people, what is really happening? Nothing should happen to Nnamdi Kanu, because if something happens to him, well, we don't know what would befall this country. But I can tell that there would be an uprising, there would be a revolution if anything should happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody. Because with Simon Ekpa raising this alarm, we don't know how it would end up. Even the IPOB, they are telling the federal government, they've been warning the federal government for long that if anything should befall Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it would be the end. They no one hear sorry. They are going to start a war with the Nigerian government. And you know that this set of group, they've excluded themselves from the Nigerian government too. They say that most of them claim that they are not part of this country, that they are on their own. Now, even during the elections, when Simon Ekpa was calling on the people of IPOB and the Biafrans, that's those in the southeast states, that they shouldn't, come out to vote since they are not even part of Nigeria, that they shouldn't come out to vote. Before the federal government and some southeast governors, even the Ohanes in Igbo, had called Simon Ekpa to order not to cause troubles in the southeast. Then, when the elections were fast approaching, Simon Ekpa was giving the federal government heat because he made a lot of threats on how he would make sure that elections are not being held in the southeast region of Nigeria. And Simon Ekpa, who has been a disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who on several occasions gave orders. When I say orders, sit-at-home orders. To an extent, those that fail to comply, well, they would receive, some certain punishments, as seen on social media before the sit-at-home order was called off by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even before now, Nnamdi Kanu has been complaining of his ear, on how he needs his doctors, on how the federal government has failed to, to give him access to his doctors, to grant him access to his doctors, on how the DSS, they've repeatedly on several occasions blocked his doctors from having access to him, having access to his medical records. So, the family of Nnamdi Kanu have called out to the federal government that if anything should happen to Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody, they should prepare. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seems to be a very strong man. With all the treatment being melted on him, sometimes the family raise alarm and complain that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not being fed properly. He's not being fed. He's not giving his medications. He doesn't have access to proper medications, to his drugs, because it was said that he was suffering he has problems with his left ear that needs urgent surgery, which on several occasions the Nigerian DSS, they've not granted that request for NNAMDI KANU to have access to his doctors so they can perform surgery on him. Now the Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa has raised alarm over what he said is the deteriorating health of NNAMDI KANU, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who is currently detained in the custody of the Department of State Service, DSS. Noting that the IPOB leader is seriously down and cannot open his eyes. Ekpa revealed on Saturday afternoon that NNAMDI KANU's health is very, very critical. The Biafra agitator notified Nigerians saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is seriously down, cannot open his eyes, he cannot speak, his condition is very, very critical. And he's raising the alarm of danger on his life to 80% on a scale of 1 to 10. I put it on 8. Last month, Simon Ekpa had raised the alarm that Kanu may die in the custody of the Department of State Service if something is not done urgently. He alleged that Kanu's doctors had fled the country, hence his call for urgent medical attention to avert his death in the DSS custody. He made this known in a statement via Twitter on Saturday. According to Ekpa, the DSS plans to restrict anyone from visiting Kanu in the coming weeks. However, the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization, the NNAMDI worldwide, last week said it's making frenetic effort to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The President General of NNAMDI, Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, made this known during the grand finale of the 2023 Igbo Day celebration held at Michael Okpara Square, Independent Layout, Enugu, in Enugu State. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I'm sure the IPOB, they wouldn't want anything to happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the federal government should tread carefully, because if something should happen to Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody, well, it would bring about a very catastrophic event, which would lead to a lot of casualties. Okay guys, I'm dropping here. What are your thoughts on this? Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comment section. Thank you.